Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Warm-up 28 is on the screen. Let's get started, please. All right. Thank you for being that in. Appreciate it. So, let's see. Right quick. We got our data set. So we need our bell curve. So we need a mean. We need a standard deviation. All right, so mean. Get us started, please. M. I haven't I called on in a while. M, let's start with M for Cain. What'd you get for the mean? 5. Hands if you got 5. All right. Next, we need a standard deviation. Standard deviation, sigma, S. Let's go with Cain. Pass it to someone. Yes, please. 2.6. So that means we are at 7.6 on the up, 2.4 on the down. This is our norm. All right, hands if you got something like that. All right, thank you for sending that in. Appreciate it. Copy the agenda, please. Warm-up number 28. We're trying to wrap up observational and experimental studies. Tonight's home plate is 1.4. Numbers 1 through 14 only. 1 through 14 only. Now, yesterday I did forget with this class or did I forget? Did I ask you guys for assigned progress? All right, so do me a favor, get your cell phones out, please. Cell phones, go to Canvas, art class, look at the grades, take a screenshot, get that sign, bring it back tomorrow and turn it in on Canvas. However, after you copy the agenda, go to Canvas, turn in the home plate from yesterday. Only one problem, A, B, C, D, E, I believe you needed to answer. So turn that in. I'll give you guys some time. Copy it. All right, thanks for turning in your home plate. All right, copy this code to access the home plate in case you don't finish in class. Q7 BEA. Q7 BEA. Write that down. Q7 BEA. All right. Once again, last night's home plate was this one. You turned that in already on Canvas. Tonight's home plate, it's only this. Only 14. All right. So, we'll give you another 30 seconds to finish turning in your stuff and also taking a screenshot of your grades. In my class, you can get that sign and turn it on Canvas as soon as you have it. So, all right, we good? All right, here we go. I can identify statistical studies. So, on your screen, write me critical attributes of statistics. Got 20 seconds on your screen. And go. 3 critical attributes. Hurry up, hurry up. Okay. 10. What? Give me a second. No, that's it. Have a seat. Have a seat. All right, thank you very much. There it is. Next, we talked about observational versus experimental. Look up to the screen. Think about the 3 observational and 2 experimental studies. Don't look at your notes. Type me one of each. 1 observational, 1 experimental. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Next, what is a treatment group? What is a control group? What is independent and dependent and confounding? Without looking at your notes, type it in there, please. I'll give you a minute. Go. So, example super duper Q says, for each identify those 5 things. What do we need to identify? What kind of study it is, which is the independent variable, which is dependent, what could be the confounding variable, and what are the conclusions. Okay, so let's start with A. We're going to do this one together. Here we go, just to make sure we got it. Look at A, and it reads, subjects are randomly assigned to 2 groups. So, think about that and tell your neighbor, is this an observational or experimental study up to right there with what I read? Subjects were randomly assigned to 2 groups. Tell your neighbor what that is. All right, looks like Luis got this one. So it is what, Luis? What is it? I'm sorry? Experimental, yes. But what kind? Scientific or quasi? That is correct because of the word randomly selected. This is scientific. Let me continue reading. One group was given a nerve and the other was given a placebo. After 6 months, the number of respiratory tract infections each had were compared. So question, what is the independent variable? Tell your neighbor, what is the independent variable? What was introduced to create a response? Please, pass someone. Andrew, what was introduced? That is correct, the herb to create the response. Next, which is the dependent variable? What was used to measure outcome? Tell your neighbor, and then Andrew's going to pass someone. Sean. What's that? No. Which one measures an outcome? That is correct. The infections are going to be our dependent variable. Question. What might affect the results that we haven't really accounted for? Think about it. They are given herbs, and then from there they're going to check their respiratory tract infections. What could affect that we haven't really thought about? Think about it. Talk to your neighbor. What could affect the results? What could affect that? Pass on one, Sean. Lolly. Oh, Riley. Lolly or Riley, either one. To who? Javi. What could affect the results, Javi? What could affect tract infections in the respiratory tract? The what? True? Guys, he said the month, or in other words, the season, because of the weather. Is that correct? Yes, that could affect it. How about if somebody has asthma? Yes? Yeah, so any health issues, okay? And last but not least, what will be the conclusion from the study? Two groups were giving, one of them was given an herb, the other one wasn't. They checked respiratory tracts for infections. What can you conclude? Tell your neighbor, what would be a conclusion? Conclusion to that study. All right. Pass someone, Javi. Javier, pass someone. Take one. Should be on my page. Oh, right there. No, it should be right there. Go. Who? I'm going to pick. How about we go with, let's go with, what haven't we called that in a while? How about Aries? How about the consumption of an herb aids with respiratory tract infections? All right. So that was A. Let's go to B. Focus, please. B. A researcher stood at a busy intersection to see if the color of an automobile that a person was drives is related to the running red lights. Tell your neighbor if that's observational or experimental. Is it observational or experimental? All right, I'm going to go over here to this side. Let's see, I think Kayla's got it, but let's go with Trin. Is this observational or experimental? Oh, let me read it again. A researcher stood at a busy intersection to see. That is correct. Now, if they stood at an intersection and they were experiencing all of that, what kind of observational is it? Cross-sectional, retrospective, or longitudinal? Tell your neighbor, and then Trin's going to pass it to someone. All right, Trin, pass someone. What is it? Yeah, longitudinal. That is correct. Because they need to go through the experience. Now, for this one, since you cannot manipulate it, look up, please. We can't answer independent variable or dependent variable. However, we could think of a confounding variable. What could affect someone running red lights? Talk to your neighbor. What could affect someone running red lights? Fernanda, pasa one. Mireya, what could affect someone running red lights? A what? A cop's going to have someone running red lights? Yeah, running red lights. They won't run it, right? Okay. How about this? Somebody has an emergency. How about this? Somebody needs to go to the restroom. And so on and so forth. All right. So with that said, C and D, you're going to do together with your neighbor. You're going to write it on the screen. Turn that in. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. 3 minutes for C and D. Answer it on the screen, please. All right, to be just about done. As soon as you're done, press send. Submit. Focus, please. And here's your home plate for tonight. You have 19 minutes to finish here in class. And go. Those of you that are following on YouTube, make sure you get your practice in. There it is. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.